and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. For those of you who don't know, my name is Samson, and in today's video, oh my, we have another special one for you guys. We have a 2015 Ferrari 458 Italia. Now this isn't just any Italia, this is the Spyder version. All that means is that it is hardtop convertible. Now when Ferrari first made this car, they went with the goal of making one of the absolute best V8 sports cars or supercars that money can buy. And this car was the epitome of that V8 performance, coming with an extremely powerful, I believe 4.5 liter V8, making right around 570 horsepower. This engine has won multiple awards for being one of the best engines ever created when it was created. And so in today's video, we're going to go over some of the style and features of this 458, some of the things that I like about it, some of the things I think you'll definitely like about it. But just like that, let's get into the video. Now, starting with the front bumper of this 458, you can see, first off, we are sitting very low to the ground. This car really only has about 2 or 3 inches of ground clearance. Now, this one does have a modified suspension setup from the previous owner. However, we sit very, very low to the ground with this car. Absolutely love the design of this front bumper, how the actual Ferrari logo just seems to float in front of the front bumper more so than actually be attached to it. Love the little swooping, almost front splitter or canard setup that Ferrari has in front of this grille, as well as this integrated lower canard, which is integrated into the actual bumper itself. Now on Ferrari's new 488, especially the Pista model, they do have a little bit of a air duct that goes from the bottom of the car up and over the, I guess, hood, since this is a rear engine car, and it allows for a bit more downforce for the car. Ferrari gives you some of that same feature in the 458 with this bit of a cutout section in the front of this front splitter. Absolutely beautiful front bumper. You can see coming up from the front bumper onto the hood, very low sloping hood with these nice body lines. You do get your Ferrari logo right there on the front of the hood, as well as these very, very nice air vents. Now, you're not used to seeing Ferrari do a whole lot of fake stuff. However, these air vents right here, which are right above the bumper, do not really lead into anything. They are a little bit more of a styling cue. Love the very, very iconic headlight design with this car. You do get a satin finish on your headlight assembly, as well as nice projector beams and this very almost layered line of LED lights that act as your turn signals. Very, very nice setup on this front bumper. Coming around to the side of the front bumper, you do have a bit of a release, allowing a little bit of the air to come from in the front of the car up and out the side, allowing for a little bit more downforce and a little bit more on-track performance use to keep you planted to the ground. And coming to the design from a side profile of this Ferrari 458, it is just a very, very elegant and timeless design. This car will always look beautiful. Many car manufacturers try to go extreme with their design for function. Ferrari just gives you the best of both worlds with this car. It really is beautiful. As far as the front wheel and tire setup, you are looking at a 20-inch rim with 235 on the width for the tires. You do get a 6-piston Brembo caliper. Ferrari does also use Brembo, and you do get these extremely almost medium or maybe large size pizza. If you love Papa John's, you know what I'm talking about. Large pizza dish rotors on the Ferrari with that 2-piece aluminum hat, allowing you to get a little bit more heat dispersion as well as lighten up that rotational mass. And also love the stock rims on this car. They look extremely beautiful with this brushed aluminum look. You do get your Ferrari logo right here on that side fender. Coming down the side of the car, you do get your side skirt, adding a little bit more flair and elegance to the side of the car. It's not too obnoxious, but just the right amount of performance oriented. Love the way that the door handle is situated on this car. You just go in, get on the inside of it and open it up. It's not like McLaren's that you have to go in and find a little bit. Very, very nice flowing design. You do get a little bit of carbon fiber up here near the window, which is nice as well. Coming around to the back, you also get, again, 20-inch rims, but instead of 235, you get 295 on the width. That same 2-piece rotor with that aluminum hat, helping you save on rotational mass. It is steel drilled, but you do get 4 piston Brembo calipers in the back. Overall, a very, very nice and elegant setup. Absolutely beautiful car in all aspects. Coming around the bend to the back of this Ferrari 458, like I mentioned, this is the Spyder model. So it does have this hard top, drop top. Normally, you will be able to see the engine in this back section. However, unfortunately, since it is a hard top, drop top, it does have the engine covered up. But you do get these functional fins on the back, allowing hot engine air to escape, which I guess you could call these heat extractors, allowing the engine air to escape that way that it doesn't detriment your performance. Coming around to the very back of the car, you do get these vents for allowing air to flow right over the top of the car and head out right behind the vehicle. Very nice design on the vents. Now, you also get a bit of carbon fiber trim along the back rear bumper of the car with that prancing horse logo. Now, these Ferrari tail lights are very, very iconic. You can see a lot of Mustang owners go in, try to modify their tail lights to have the Ferrari 458 tail lights. Very, very nice looking design on the tail lights. Matter of fact, Ford even copied the tail light design a little bit with the Ford GT. Coming around to the bottom, you do get a massive rear diffuser. Now, unfortunately, Ferrari did not go with some type of carbon fiber or even piano black with their rear diffuser. It is just this regular, basic, just plastic on the rear diffuser, which is a bit of a bummer. However, it is very, very beautiful nonetheless, allowing air to escape up, out from underneath the car and channel it away from the car. One thing that I love about Ferrari, especially the 458, is this center mounted exhaust. Now, you don't see a whole lot of cars with 3 exhaust tips. I believe that the Honda Civic Type R has 3 exhaust tips, but Ferrari also went with a 3 exhaust tip design with this 458, and it is in the center of the car. And like you guys heard earlier, it sounds absolutely insane. Not to mention, it looks insane being a center exit exhaust. Now, like I mentioned earlier, with this Ferrari 458 Italia, in back, you do get a 4.5 liter V8. Now, when we think about overall displacement, that does seem like it's pretty low for a V8. You're used to V8s having at least over 5 liters. However, this one is a 4.5 liter. It is a flat plane crank, which is why it gives it that absolutely amazing pitch and tone at full RPM. It does have right around 570 horsepower. Now, it is a rear-wheel drive car, of course, so you can have a lot of fun with it. It is made into a 6-speed automatic transmission. Wish that they would have gave us a manual, especially in this car. Would have been an absolute ball to go around and rip gears in. Now, the car doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's only right around 3,200 pounds. And as far as MPGs go, you do get right around 13 in the city, 17 in the highway. And so overall, a very, very fun car. Now, you guys may be familiar, the new Corvette Z06 does have a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8, and it is pushing out right around 670 horsepower. And so when you're thinking about comparing the two, the new Z06, it is a little bit heavier. It does have a little bit more power, but the elegance of this Ferrari is just almost unmatched. Now, when it comes to actually getting in this Ferrari 458, it is very low to the ground. Me being 6'5", it's a little bit more difficult to get into. You can see I don't have a whole lot of headroom. It is very open. There's not a massive center console, but it is a very, very tight-knit car. As far as the actual door seal, you do have carbon fiber on the door seal, a latch for popping open that rear portion. Looking at the steering wheel, almost fully carbon fiber. You do get your carbon fiber at the top, very, very nice leather along the sides, and carbon fiber everywhere else. It is a flat bottom steering wheel, and you get all of your controls on it, your horns, your turn signals, your suspension dampening, race modes, your engine start stop button. The Ferrari wants you to be able to drive this car without having to take your hands off the steering wheel, so they give you everything that you would need to touch in your immediate area on the steering wheel itself. Very, very nice, almost, I don't know, hexagonal design to it. As far as the gauge cluster goes, even though this is a 2015 car, you do have a very, very beautiful Ferrari yellow analog gauge in the center, acting as your tachometer. Love the way that this gauge cluster looks. You do have your digital gauges on the side, being able to allow you to configure certain things like navigation, like seeing your tire pressure, your G-forces, that type of thing on the side. As far as the dash goes, everything is leather wrapped up here with red stitching. Very, very beautiful design on the dash, and everything is focused towards the driver. You do have your air vents focused towards the driver, your radio controls. Everything is very driver focused in this car, which leads you to have a very, very controlling feeling. As far as the center console area goes, you do have a very simplistic look to it. You only have your window controls and your ability to choose between your launch control or your reverse, as well as if you want to go auto or manual. You also have the ability to raise or lower the Ferrari. Since it is very, very low, they do give you a lift system in the car just in case you need to go over something that's a little bit high. That way you don't scrape the front bumper of the car. You do have your climate control in the middle of the center console, and enabling you to have dual climate control and control where the air comes out. So if it comes out near your feet, up here near your face, whatever the case may be. As far as the passenger side goes, you do get this very beautiful 458 Spyder badge right here, front and center on the passenger side of the dash. As far as the door panel goes, one thing that I find extremely surprising that I did not know, Ferrari actually utilizes a JBL sound system in this car. So for all you bass heads, all you stereo guys that think JBL is not a good quality speaker, Ferrari utilizes JBL in their cars, and so it is a pretty decent setup to go with. As far as the door panel goes, it is very simplistic. Like I said, all your window controls are in the center, so the door only has your actual opening latch on the door. Everything else is wrapped in leather and stitched with that red stitching. You do get a bit of a storage area down here on the side with a little bit of a leather strap to help keep things where they should be. You do get, I guess, what you could call cup holders right here in the very front part of the center console. I don't know how useful they would be considering how small they are, but Ferrari does give them to you. When it comes to the seats are fully leather wrapped, and they are fully automatically controlled on both the passenger and the driver's side. The seats do have almost this layered leather texture to them, and like I mentioned, they are heavily bolstered. You do get your Ferrari badge stitched into the actual headrest of the seat, and so these seats, although they are heavily bolstered, are very comfortable and are made of absolutely beautiful materials. As far as the rear behind the seat, you do get a little bit of storage space right behind the seat, as well as everything else is leather wrapped. The hard top, drop top is leather wrapped. You do get this panel behind you that's leather wrapped, as well as a bit of a window to be able to see through the rear of this car. So if you do end up running low on storage, there is a little bit of storage behind the seats that you can put things like groceries and such in. But overall, the interior of this car does have just a very, very nice feel to it. It is very simplistic, but it is made of absolutely beautiful quality items. One thing that you may find interesting about the Ferrari is the actual sun visors. They are extremely small, and on one side they are leather, the other side they are Alcantara, but they are extremely small. Which then again, you do have a very sloped windshield, so you don't need a very big sun visor. But overall, very, very nice interior on the car. And with that being said, that is a full review of the Ferrari 458 Italia Spyder. For many of you, this may be your dream car or one of the cars that you absolutely loved growing up as a kid. It is one of the best supercars ever made, especially for a naturally aspirated V8, and it is going to go down in history. These right now are skyrocketing in value. Some of them going for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000. And so if you are able to grab one, I would suggest you go ahead and do it. But just like that, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know other things you guys would like to see on the channel, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.